Hi, I'm John Liebman, founder and first baseman of ForBassPlayersOnly.com. I've taken the frustration out of learning bass so you can build confidence, have fun, and just enjoy making music. When you first started learning bass, you were excited. You couldn't wait to lay down those feel-good bass grooves and call yourself a real bass player. But then, eventually, you started hearing some things in your playing you didn't want to hear. And you couldn't do some of the things you really wanted to do. Playing bass isn't as easy as you thought. Well, we're going to put an end to that negative thinking right now. You didn't just pick up the bass without having something in mind, something you wanted to do. And it had to have come from something you heard. There must have been a time, or more likely several times, when you heard something and you went, "Ooh, that's cool." And you said, "I want to do that." So what was it for you? You remember? I got to thinking about all this during one of the over 800 interviews I did on ForBassPlayersOnly.com, the one with Mike Merritt. Mike is probably best known for playing bass in the band on the Conan O'Brien show. By the way, you can download my free PDF, 12 Surefire Tips to Make You a Better Bass Player, compiled from interviews we've done with a dozen incredible bass players, including Mike. There's a link below this video that'll take you right there. Don't leave here without downloading it. Mike's dad, by the way, was jazz bass legend Jimmy Merritt, and that's spelled J-Y-M-I-E, Jimmy Merritt, who played with Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers, Benny Golson, Bobby Timmons, Lee Morgan. He also played with Chet Baker, Dizzy Gillespie. I mean, legends. Now, having a dad that played bass for guys like that, Mike's got bass in his blood for sure. When I asked Mike what advice he had for someone who wants to learn bass, he said, "I think the most important thing is to never lose touch with what inspired you to get involved with playing music. If it was a particular song, or a particular genre, or a particular player, or a certain record, the way somebody's bass sounded on a record, if that's what makes your hair stand up, go after that." What made your hair stand up the first time you heard it? Think about it. There must have been something that got you really excited. Now be careful though, because it's really easy to say to yourself, "Oh, I'll never be that good." Don't even think like that. There's only one you. You're not going to sound like somebody else, and nobody else is going to sound like you. Let those great players inspire you to explore and to do your own thing. Mike says, follow that inspiration, because that can pull you through whatever difficulty you might have in physically learning a part. It could be a very difficult part, or it could be a very simple part. But when you have trouble interpreting it, never lose sight of what inspired you in the first place. Even though Mike was surrounded by jazz from a very young age, can you imagine your dad's friends being John Coltrane and Freddie Hubbard and dropping by the house? But Mike also listened to plenty of rock and roll. So what made Mike's hair stand up? For me, he says, it was when I heard Cream, Wheels of Fire, the live album, and I heard the way Jack Bruce played the bass. I never heard anybody playing bass like that before, and that was the big inspiration to me. It drove me to do more than just copy what he was doing, but to explore things on the bass and figure out things on my own and push myself forward. That would be my word of advice, he says. Inspiration. If you want to play the bass, you have to put in the time. You have to work at it. It's not all going to be easy. If it was, everyone would be a great bass player. Keep in mind why you're learning bass. Imagine how you'll feel when you get those great results you're after. That'll keep you pumped and encouraged for sure. You need to download this PDF right now. Remember, Mike is one of 12 people highlighted in my free PDF, 12 Surefire Ways to Make You a Better Bass Player. There are some great, practical, actionable things that you can incorporate into your bass playing right away. I want you to download it now. It's totally free. And leave a comment below this video and let me know your thoughts on the subject. I'm interested in what you have to say and what first made your hair stand up. And of course, be sure to subscribe to the For Bass Players Only YouTube channel. There's so much helpful stuff right here for anyone who likes bass and who likes learning bass. I've taken the frustration out of learning bass so you can build confidence, have fun, and just enjoy making music. So what made my hair stand up? Well, there are several things, but one thing that really stands out was when I heard an Oscar Peterson record. The bass player was Niels Henning Ørsted Pedersen, and I just about lost my mind. I'd never heard anybody play bass like that before. I still haven't fully recovered, truthfully. Let me know what did it for you. That's all for now. I'll see you next week. I'm John Liebman. Let's play bass.